Good morning, everybody. It is 9:00 a.m. As I started talking, it was 1 or 2 seconds prior. And I have audio confirmation. I'm unmuting desktop audio, so speaker bot can be hoid. And I'm going to start right off the bat with the most important pressing item on the agenda for today, and that is Brian Lightfoot's jokes. Because I don't have a lot on today's agenda. Brian Lightfoot, on my last visit to the doctor, he asked me to count to 10.
Hello, Doug.
Hello there. I said 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. The doctor paused and says, that's odd. All the numbers are odd, and yes, that was counting to 10, but it's just an odd person. Then the doctor asked me if I could imagine why I can't count to 10. I said, I can't even. And then before I went to the doctor's office, I hired a handyman and gave him a list of things to be done. When I got home, he had done only 1, 3, and 5. Turns out he only does odd jobs. Yeah. And those are good jokes for this because we are an odd group of people, aren't we? John Williams, one great tune from a group Queen, rock and roll will never die. We will rock you. Yes, I like that song. And stomping on the bleachers during a game, when we will rock you, as the audience chants. Mike Wojcik, hello. Chris Garrett retracts his message where he said, I wonder if Doug will get that joke to Brian Lightfoot. What, you didn't want me to see that or read that? Too late. Brian Lightfoot retracted something. Oh, no, here's the will Doug get that joke. So I'm not sure what those two were. Since here's the one, I know I read it, but I don't remember what it was. Selden Ball, greetings all. Here is 43 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Dennis, I cannot duplicate the problem I had with the overlay on my other machine. So I guess I will have to live with it. During Fortnite this morning, Dennis was having his chat room.
Doug, I made a typo.
His chat, oh, that's why you retracted. I get it, Chris. In the upper left corner of his Fortnite screen, it was showing his chat messages, and something was going amiss with that. He was trying to turn it off, and couldn't turn it off, and it was causing him a nuisance. So I guess he was trying to duplicate it on the other computer. Yeah, the other machine. It would be odd if he didn't. Oh, get the jokes. Would it really, though? For Doug to not get a joke? Would that really be that odd? Rand Israel, hello. John Williams, hello. Tim Tech Wiz, hello. His live stream was buffering, but I think it stopped. I'm showing 0 dropped frames. 10,152 kilobits per second. Zavi Minor, hello. I do not have topics. I do not have a list of emails. I do not have a list of chat messages. I think I might have one, and I don't have bookmarks. So if you got any questions, this is a great time in chat. Otherwise, I might end early. I'm not one for dragging it out. I'm here. Hey, Bubba. I don't know where this nickname comes, Bubba. I'm not too sure about that. Our mayor nickname was Bubba because our mayor for a while was Alan Autry, and he played Bubba on Heat of the Night. I'm saying that name right, wasn't it? Heat of the Night? Yes, we are an odd group, he says. And here's those 3. Oh, I got to go turn those off so they don't repeat again. Let's see. Disable it and turn the repeat off. I'm getting pizza for super. One dog, I'll be here. I haven't had pizza in a long time. I spent the last 3 days, and I pretty much mean the entire day, trying to get OBS to record from screen and stay in sync. Are you sure what you're recording is in sync? Look at the original content and see if it's actually in sync. When I do the trailers, sometimes they're not in sync, and I go into Adobe Premiere Pro to fix that. Unlink the video from the audio and then slide it left to right. to fix the sync. Basically screen recording, and it starts out good, but often doesn't stay in sync over time, and the sync is just off the minute I hit record. And it starts off good, but often doesn't stay in sync over time. Sometimes the sync is just off. Now, it could be that your computer's overworked. So shut down any of these things in the system tray to reduce the number of things that your computer might be doing in the background. If your computer switches its attention to something else while doing that recording, that might be causing an issue. And also in OBS, watch your stats. Let's see, I'm gonna drag this chat window over to my other monitor here, make it shorter so that I can bring OBS up on screen without getting that picture-in-picture thing. So right now you should be seeing my OBS page with my chat drug over the top, and I'm looking to see, no, it's doing the picture-in-picture thing. I thought I could stop that with doing this, but you're not seeing OBS. Oh, I didn't hit the right button. Okay, now let's see if that comes up correct. Yeah, there it is. So now you're seeing my OBS. Turn on the stats page. When I click on the stats here, it'll show, and I got to bring the chat back up so you don't get the picture-in-picture. But watch in here to see if there's any drop frames happening. Get familiar with these numbers on stats. And if you don't see that window in OBS, come up here to the taskbar to Docs and turn on Stats. And you can move those stats around into different places within OBS. But I'm wondering if your computer's overworked or OBS is overworked and struggling somewhere. Maybe try turning your resolution way down just for troubleshooting purposes, and see if that gets you back on track. So there's some ideas for you for troubleshooting that. Right there. Tim saw a Spectrum truck around my area. I don't know what's going on. They was by my pole in the back of my house. Well, hopefully they were. Go talk to them. Go ask them what they're doing. They're usually nice in my experience. It's been interesting learning all the crap in OBS. I kind of have it working, kinda. Dennis, I went to look for the configuration data in my app roaming folder. Turns out the entire application is stored there. Bad place for a program if you ask me. Yeah, I agree for that. I recall somebody bringing that up recently about a program that was in the app data roaming folder. I don't remember what that was about. Brian Lightfoot, in the past 20 years of this channel, because it has been going that long, Doug himself has never posted a joke. It's about time he did. I'm giving him until April Fool's Day to shape up. Brian, that's a great April Fool's joke there, to think that I'm going to do that. Lawn Dog, yes, Doug, I kind of learned to pay attention to the source, because recording stuff off of YouTube can be a little bit out of sync, but yes, I understand what you're saying. Hello, Alice. Martin Hogg. Hi, all. I need advice. I have friend's laptop with dead keyboard. USB keyboard is okay. It is a Packard Bell Easy Note. Can't download driver from PB. Can't from PB Web, as PB Web no longer exists. PB, what's that, the brand? Oh, Packard Bell. Try all simple fixes. Well, it might be the keyboard is simply dead. You could open the computer up and disconnect and reconnect the cable that connects the keyboard to the system board, the motherboard, but I have replaced keyboards that no longer functioned or didn't function right. And if you go look for that, I usually find spare parts on eBay, sometimes find them on Amazon, but if you search for a replacement keyboard for that make and model of the computer, you might find it's not all that expensive, since your simple fixes didn't work. Let's see, what else could we do to get any life out of the keyboard? So I'm assuming you've tried every key on the keyboard, nothing responds. How about in BIOS? Just boot the computer up, get into BIOS, find a field somewhere in BIOS where you can type, and then try all the keys on the keyboard. That would determine that it would differentiate whether it's a Windows problem or a computer problem. Let's see what else on that. USB keyboard works. Now that doesn't mean that Windows is not the source of the trouble for the built-in keyboard. Of course, in Device Manager, let's see, for a laptop keyboard, Device Manager, I bet you can, I think you could uninstall the driver for that. You're not going to download you don't need to download the driver. That should be automatic. But if you go to keyboards, right click on each of these and uninstall each of those devices, and then come up and right click and choose scan for hardware changes. That should reinstall the driver. It's not likely that Packard Bell website ever had a driver specifically for the keyboard. Ken Stout, yes, I'm sure that is the issue and not within OBS. John Williams, is there a possibility that my graphic, now I'm guessing he's saying that it's the issue is with those statistics or something that your computer's overworked if the source is actually in sync. John Williams, is there a possibility that my graphics card was damaged due to the AIO failed on my Intel 8th generation, got overheated, the GPU is pixelating? Definitely. Overheating can cause persistent damage. Graphics card was damaged, so this I'm gonna guess, since there is a graphics card, that this is a desktop computer, maybe even a custom computer. AIO failed. The cooler, the all-in-one cooler, failed on my 8th generation, got overheated. Now the cooler is cooling specifically your CPU. So it's caused, yeah, well, now what could the graphics card, discrete graphics card, get overheated so much by virtue of the AIO failure? I doubt that, because your computer, when the CPU detected it was overheated, it should have throttled down and not worked as hard. Your graphics card probably has its own fans. I think it's very rare that a graphics card would have a liquid cooler. So I'm going to kind of eat my words on that. Can you plug your monitor directly into the motherboard? Does the CPU have integrated graphics, to see if it's okay? Because your AIO failure should affect your CPU, if anything, but if it's a modern enough computer, your computer should throttle down before damaging the CPU. So I'm going to take that back. I'm not so convinced about that. Brian Lightfoot, oh, and Doug's joke has to be one that makes the stout man laugh. Oh, okay. So did I pull off a joke already that got a laugh through? I didn't post it. See, Brian was wanting me to post a joke, not say a joke. Krista Tim, I saw a bunch of Spectrum trucks and vans at the local Spectrum office that is closed to the public. Not sure why they were not out working. Maybe a business meeting, certainly could be. Training session, maybe. My computer resources are not even being stressed. And yes, I close out everything and try to just dedicate the machine to make a recording. Well, what are you using to define that your computer resources are not being stressed? Are you using the stats within OBS? Are you using Task Manager? Let's see. Just glancing at his more recent comments, we'll get to them. Yep, I've watched the monitoring with OBS. Okay, so he's been watching the stats. I've also messed with Intel settings. Did you actually say that the source video that you're recording is in sync? I've also messed with Intel settings for iGPU, which apparently is built into Intel processors specifically for doing video encoding along with audio, doing something like that. Hey, I know something. There is, OBS has a setting to offset audio from video.
It does have integrated graphics. I will try and remove the dedicated GPU and see what happens.
Okay, John, thank you. Yeah, OBS has a place where you can do a setting, advanced audio properties. Here's advanced audio properties on the edit menu. And was that where there was some kind of a place to sync offset? Yeah, this sync offset. So you can change a sync offset, and that might help you out, because it seems to me that there is a known issue where that can happen. So these are desktop audio. So if you move your sync offset for audio up and down for your desktop audio when you're recording the audio, see if that helps you. Yeah, I am showing that. Okay. That's with Intel settings for iGPU, which is apparently built into Intel processors specifically for doing video encoding along with audio, something like that. There's also the audio encoder that you're using. Where is that at? Audio encoder. Can I even get to that place while I'm streaming? Seems like I should be able to. Transform view. Oh, settings. I think it's over here on file settings. Go to settings and then audio and general global audio devices. That's turning them on and off. Meters, advanced monitoring, hotkeys. Does that do anything? No. On output, audio bit rate, turning audio bit rate up and down. Encoder preset, changing from to better or best quality. The default here, I guess, is slow. So now fast doesn't actually mean it's going to be more likely be in sync. Those kind of complicated how they define those, I think. But that's a place where you might experiment. To relieve stress off the processor, normal duties I turned out on its special functioning OBS anyways. This is not the day to dedicate any time towards the subject, but I'm sure have been pulling my hair out and also learning a lot of very interesting and detailed things about what encoding video and audio separately as being the way these recordings are done and how they get out of sync just by the process. By the way, there's no stream for Carrie or for Ken Stout for me to redirect to. Ken is here, Doug, and April 1st. I think Ken's going to be out on his traveling trip to the West Coast over April 1st. That's more than a little bit worrying. The setting that I stumbled upon that had best results is record same as monitor. Record same as monitor. Yeah, I think that would be this settings, output, record same as monitor. Isn't that in here somewhere? I'm not sure, but he already found that, so I'm not going to go try to find that. But monitor is referring to, you can have the audio monitoring into your headset so that you can hear what is being recorded, the whole balance, so that way you can hear the balance between your microphone and the audio that you're recording if you're doing both. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Acer bought Packard Bell. Try their site. I don't know if they would keep drivers for an old computer. That sounds a lot of bit iffy. Thank you, Wintermute. Kendall Londog, email me. We can get together on Zoom. I think I can fix this for you. Wow. Londog, it gets pretty close and acceptable, but over time, 15 minutes, maybe more, the out of sync becomes more noticeable. I have seen that, and I've had to split up the audio in different segments and scrunch it over in order to fix things that get out of sync. I've done that for some of my trailers. As if the machine is unable to keep up with the processing, that I can find nothing that is under any kind of stress. I just called the main boss, Anna, for my area, got her main cell number. She said she will call me back. She will get back to me and what's going on in the area. She can find out because she's in charge of this whole area. Wow. All right. Look at you. Big cheese. So she told me if I ever have any questions or anything, just to call her or any issues. Called her the big boss. Right? She told me. The main boss, not big boss. You don't want to tell a woman that she's big. Just leave that word out. Main boss, that's a good word. One dog, I even lowered a bunch of settings so they're not doing a high bit rate or high recording rates for video. 30 frames per second should be stressful on my machine, though. OBS recommends 60. I should just turn it way down. Turn it way down so it's absolutely not acceptable recording, but just to troubleshoot and see if it will stay in sync. Turn the audio bit rate way down, the video bit rate way down, the frames per second way down, and see if you can find something where it works. And that's one of my troubleshooting techniques, is find something that works. Even if it's not an acceptable result, it can help you with troubleshooting according to its own diagnostics. Yeah, its own diagnostics. It's just telling you what your system should be capable of. From Zivi Minor, what do we have here? What? Is that what I'm, what? You showing me, what are you showing me there? Why am I seeing shoes up here and shoes down here? What? $24.21. This is a screenshot from 10 minutes ago. I don't understand.
Return YouTube dislike.
So that was a YouTube display. Apparently at some point you were seeing this banner appear for Kohl's shoes. No, they're down here. I don't understand what I'm seeing. And then, so he gave me return YouTube dislike. I don't understand what you're telling me there. Return YouTube dislike. I need more words to understand that. Oh, all right. Wow. Boom. Blew me away. I don't know what that for a spectrum. Anyways, a small, I need a lot of more words to explain what that was. Montech. Anyways, this is a small project I'm trying to record from Hulu. Super hot.
Doug, he is telling you that you need new shoes.
Chris, that's not helpful. That's your joke. That's just a joke. I'm asking for help understanding what he's showing me, and you give me a joke. Thanks a lot.
Find return YouTube dislike on the picture.
Find return YouTube dislike.
In the screenshot, it appears that the dislike counter is enabled on your stream.
Oh, here? Yes, it is. Oh, it says return YouTube. Oh, right there it says. So this is a picture of his screen. This is the video that I was broadcasting at the time. So the video I was broadcasting at the time did not include this Kohl's shoes, which I recently did just order shoes from Kohl's. So that's weird. But anyway, yeah, he's saying return YouTube dislike. So is that showing up on my screen? No, I don't see that.
This is only
ad. So this is an advertisement on your screen, or is it an advertisement on my screen? Oh, this is whatever you use for the screenshot, the site that you use for doing this screenshot. That's the one that's sending this advertising, isn't it? And it's sending contextual advertising, something it thinks that I would be interested in, because somehow it knows that I recently ordered shoes from Kohl's. So, but this is what he's trying to tell me. I know that I have the dislike button activated, and so we can see how many have disliked. But this thing here, return YouTube dislike. I don't know why that's showing there, those bubbles. That's weird.
Did you order the shoes for ZV? It's his screenshot.
No, it's the V screenshot, yes. But this is the screenshot that he sent. When I click to look at that, I get shoes. If each of you, if you people that are watching this, if you click on that link, I think you're going to get a different advertisement. Can you let me know in chat? Do you get a different advertisement above and below the actual screenshot? And you should be getting an advertisement that's appropriate for you, unless you've blocked your cookies, or if you have ad block or something, you're probably not going to see it. I'm glad I opened my blinds. I assume you replaced the AIO for the person that has in the keyboard.
You do not have dislike by default in YT.
Oh, I don't? I don't have dislike by default? I'm showing the dislike button here. His screenshot actually showed a number of 0. YouTube has some capability for hiding the likes and dislikes. At some point they defaulted it to not display them, and I intentionally changed them back to display. So whatever that option was, you all should be able to see a like and a dislike button on my videos. On some content creator videos, you probably don't see the thumbs down. I think everywhere you'll see the thumbs up, but it might not show the counter. I don't know. There's some things that YouTube see that. Greg says he's always seen dislike button. Let's come over and look at let's look at Carrie's. On a Carrie's video, see if he has that button showing. Go to this one.
I add an extension to the browser.
And yeah, it is there, but I can't see the number. I don't know. They might have reversed that. I don't know. At one point, that was a thing. Unless you're one of the high-tech people who take over water cooling and run it through your graphics card, which isn't the norm, but there are people who go that complication. That'd be a custom. Maybe there's graphics card coolers available. It seems to me there are, but not very commonly used. You're absolutely right, too. I don't see the two being associated typically with graphics card, that the fans that start to give out, also thermal paste getting cooked over time. Let's see, I'm going to mute for a moment and take this phone call. And unmuted. Am I unmuted? Yes, I'm unmuted. Device manager recognizes okay, but removing, reinstalling, not fixing. Same with hardware scan, but we'll try BIOS tip. May result to reinstalling Windows 10. You might want to make an image backup first, so you can
By
go
the way,
back to
size
the original.
8.5 for me.
Size 8.5 shoes. Well, the shoes that I ordered, they're size 10. I want it, but they're out of stock for the 9.5, which is what I need. And so I was waiting and waiting and waiting. They never came, and they were on a massively big sale. So the sale is expiring. My discounts are expiring. So I went ahead and ordered the size 10, figuring that if I don't like them, maybe I can swap them at the store for 9.5. That's TMI, too much information. It all depends upon how well the thermal paste was applied and the quality. It's been my experience. After 4 to 5 years, it's time for repaste. John Williams and Carrie said that's usually not needed, because when you take them apart, the paste is cool. But when the computer heats up, it liquefies the paste. So just because it looks dry when you take it apart, it doesn't necessarily mean it was bad. It does have, that's Carrie's explanation. I'm not experienced in that world, so I'm just repeating what he says. Does have integrated graphics. I will try and remove the dedicated GPU and see what happens. I got a graphics card that I repaired after a person just bought a new graphics card because they had it for so long. They just wanted a new one. I'm going to skip over some alarm dogs there. He's got like 5 in a row, and I'm ready to hang up. Danielle, I recall looking at early DAW software. Numerous Windows settings tweaks were recommended. They strongly recommend a dedicated PC just for DAW use. DAW PCs plagued with audio clicks, pops. Digital audio something processing is what DAW is. I don't know that acronym well enough for you to assume I knew what that meant, but I do remember that's something that Danielle's involved with. Digital audio, wah, 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 wah. Digital audio, wah, 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 wah. That's what it is. Yo, check mail from Candic Lawn Dog. I'm going to skip over Lawn Dogs again. I'll go catch up on those later. Ken might be on to us knowing your trip to West Coast. Brian to Ken live. Ken's that live. Uh-oh. Ken might be on to us knowing about your trip to the West Coast. I think was he saying Doug might be on to us? Let's see. I'll read that later from Lawn Dog. Ken, trip starts 19th, which for us normal people is not the first. Can't speak for Fresnians. Yeah, it starts on the 19th of March, but you return after April 1st. So I said you're going to be out and about. I don't think you're going to be in California, though. You'll be gone from California before the 1st. Whew. Oh, man, that's a load off my mind. Can't speak for Fresnians. That's not Fresnians. That's Fresnayans. Fresnayans. Fresnians. Fresna INS. Fresna Immigration Naturalization Service. That's what that is. Got it. I caught on to that one, Ken. Nice try. You did not get that past me. Alice, Windows Spotlight is getting on my nerves again. Same images all the time. I cleaned out my files and reset settings, but doesn't help much. Alice, do you have the Bing icon down here in the taskbar that you've actually installed? Because you can do the Windows Spotlight without having this Bing wallpaper active. I have the Bing wallpaper active and haven't had the problem. Alice, I think is Windows 10, I want to say. So Windows Spotlight for her, she's going to the desktop and choose personalize. But with Windows 10, you get there differently, right? Background, and see, this doesn't use Spotlight here. Here's Windows Spotlight. Because I'm using the Bing element, I don't have Windows Spotlight here, even though I am getting the Windows Spotlight stuff, and you can see that in the background. Do I really want to minimize all this to go show what that image is today? And this changes every day, but it's from the Bing wallpaper, not actually from Windows Spotlight. So you might try doing that alternative. When you need a part number, serial number, full model name, only find discussions on Packard Bell, easy note to models. So let's see, if you want to provide that, that was wasn't Brian, it was Martin Hogg with the dead keyboard, if you want to provide that detail. Scanning over, about ready to end the show. Scanning. I'll read through those after the show is over, but I've got somebody outside waiting for me, so I need to get out of here now. Get out of here now. Leave. End it. Doug, hit the end button. Stop streaming. Stop.